I wanted to do a navigation video with you so you can help orient yourself to Canvas and be able to find things in the Canvas shell. But before we even get in the Canvas, we're here at the Brookdale homepage. If you're not familiar how to get into Canvas, I want to be able to show you how to do that. So at the top, you have that My Brookdale link. You would want to click on that. Then kind of in the middle across the top, you see the Canvas link. Now you will have to log in. Your login credentials are the exact same that you would have as your email. So I'm going to log in with mine, and you would log in with yours in a similar way. And you'd sign in, and then this would take you to kind of your Canvas dashboard. Now, this is global in that this applies to any sort of Canvas course that you are in. I'm going to go ahead and pick kind of a representative example of our course. You'd find that in the course list. Any course that you are a part of, whether it's chemistry course, math course, history course, doesn't matter, that will appear in your course list. And I have a lot more kind of bells and whistles and options available on the screen than you'll have. So I'm going to switch over to student view. And this now more closely looks like what you would see when you log into Canvas and get into the course. It should look very similar without the kind of pink across the top and the bottom. And your navigation is pretty straightforward. If you look over on the left, we have home, grades, modules, and quizzes. I'm not going to go into the grade book. There's nothing in there. But I'm going to start with the modules because this has a lot of the content that you need for the course in here. Now, I'm not going to open up every link and video. Those are for you to look at. This is kind of an overall navigation. So when you need to find something, you're able to find it pretty easily. So here I am in modules, and the first one I want to run through is this general information module. This will be the first thing you're really looking at. And you should review all the material in this module. There's some documents, there's some videos in here. First thing you see is this Chem 101 syllabus 2021. That is the department syllabus for this course. That's something you should have a quick read through. I also have a short video where I explain some things in there as well. Then the next thing you will see is a kind of welcome and 101 course syllabus addendum. That is specific things for us. How is the grade determined? How many quizzes? How many exams? General procedures that we end up going through, as well as some tips on how to be successful. So you should be looking through that as well. And right below it, I also have a video where I kind of go through and hit some of the points in that document as well. Some other things you'll find in this general information module are instructions on how to order your lab kit. Remember, you don't want to delay on that. There's instructions on how to order that. And there's also the Dropbox for the first extra credit assignment, which is going to be simply taking a picture of your confirmation email or receipt from your lab kit, posting it in here. And again, the details are talked about kind of before in some of the course syllabus addendum and the ordering pieces. So I'm not going to go through the details. It's just kind of how you're going to find stuff, where things located. The next thing you'll see in here are instructions for testing with Respondus. So that provides a link to a set of instructions where you can download Lockdown Browser and Respondus monitoring to your computer. And then right below it is an extra credit assignment that will make sure everything's working okay on your computer. Remember, you want to knock out these extra credit assignments relatively early. They're free. They're kind of very easy points in order to grab, and that just ensures your lab kit's ordered, it's on the way, as well as When it comes time to taking that first exam, your computer's already going to be set up for that. So I'm rewarding you for those things with some extra credit by knocking them out immediately at the beginning of the semester. Last thing you see in this general information area, it says periodic table clear. This is the approved periodic table that you are allowed to have on exams that you will print out and use for yourself. It's that one and that one only that you can use. So there you find a link for that. So that general information module that we just went through, that's kind of all of your getting started, syllabus information. How do I get my lab kit? How do I download Respondus Lockdown Browser if you haven't used that before? So that's kind of all that general information. When we get actually going into content, so after you've completed those tests, you're ready for the actual content pieces. And let's see, if I scroll down, I have a Unit 1 module, and this lists all of your kind of lecture material for Unit 1. Breaks Unit 1 down to its chapters. You see in Chapter 1. And what you see is usually a PowerPoint. Let's link with the paperclip. So there's a Matter PowerPoint. And there's a Matter video where we go through and we talk about that PowerPoint. Same thing for significant figures, unit conversions. Sometimes you get an additional video in there as well, but that has all of the content from Chapter 1. Then you have a similar thing for Chapter 2, a PowerPoint and a video that goes through that PowerPoint. PowerPoint and video that goes through that PowerPoint. And that keeps on going for all of the chapters in Unit 1. For Chapter 3, that's your lecture material. The MOL unit, you get a PowerPoint, and then you get a video on that PowerPoint material. So that's the Unit 1 module. Then Unit 2 module, Unit 3 module, Unit 4 module is going to be literally the exact same thing. You'll see PowerPoints and then videos that correspond to those PowerPoints. So Chapter 4, Chapter 7, PowerPoints and videos, that's all of your lecture content for Unit 2. Then Unit 3 lists all of the Unit 3 lecture material that you have available for you. PowerPoints, videos, in order to kind of go through the material. You keep scrolling down. Unit 4, same way. You have some PowerPoints, and then you have some videos that go along with those PowerPoints. That's what you see for the first 4 units. That's where all your lecture material will be. You keep on scrolling down, you're going to see the extra practice problems. So these are additional practice problems that I have posted along with answer keys. If you need a little bit of extra work on certain material, you can find it in here. Now, this is not meant to replace those book problems that you are supposed to be doing ordinarily in the chapter. When you read through the syllabus, when you kind of look through the addendum to the syllabus, we talk about that there. I'm not going to rehash that here, but these don't take the place of you doing things in the book. They're just some additional things that I provided for you, some additional problems. So you can see for some of the content, we have some extra problems that are available. You keep on scrolling down are your study guides. Now, quizzes happen about halfway through the unit. So what you see for those quizzes is what material are you responsible for a quiz? What material is not going to be on the quiz? Generally, quizzes are about halfway through a unit, so the second half of the unit generally isn't covered in that quiz. So that lets you know, hey, these are the things that I'm going to be expecting to see on the quiz, and some exam review sheets as well for each of the exams. You keep going down. This is where you would be submitting your lab reports when those are starting to come due. One thing you should definitely look at before you start submitting labs is this general lab comment document that goes through some of the expectations for your labs. Every lab's a little bit different, but there's some things that happen in a lot or most of the labs that you want to make sure you are doing. pre-lab questions, post-lab questions. Many times it's telling you to take pictures of your apparatus, your data, things like that. So you want to look at that before you kind of get involved with the labs. Remember, the instructions for every lab comes from your kit that you're ordering through eScience. This is just the drop box for that, where you're submitting your end product kind of to me. So that's kind of where that is at. And that's where through all your modules. I'm just going to quickly kind of go through it again, such that if you're having problems finding something, you can watch this video again and say, okay, now I know where that is. General information folder, syllabus type information, how to order your lab kit, your extra credit assignments, how do you download Respondus Lockdown Browser, and your extra credit for that. Then you see all of the lecture materials. Unit 1 lecture material, Unit 2 lecture material, Unit 3 lecture material, Unit 4 lecture material. Then some additional practice problems. If you find you need some more work on some key areas, here's some additional problems. Exam and quiz study guides are below that. And then finally, your submissions, where you are submitting your finished lab reports to. So that's the modules. There's a couple other things I want to kind of show you when you're ready to take quizzes and exams. If you go into the quizzes link, if I click on the quizzes link, this lists all of your quizzes and exams with due dates. The other important thing that you want to make sure you're able to find is all the way in the left-hand panel is the calendar. So if you click on the calendar, it'll bring up the calendar for any of the courses that you are involved in. Right now, it just lists the current one that you're kind of in, but if you're in a history class, if you're in a psychology class, you're in a math class, those courses will populate this calendar as well. So this will have all of your due dates. So whatever semester you're in, you would simply kind of be scrolling across looking for, due dates. Hey, when are things due? Everything is all in the calendar for labs, for quizzes, for exams, and the appropriate due dates for all of those for the entire semester. So you want to be looking at the calendar and make sure you don't miss any due dates. So if I go back to the courses, again, your modules has all of your kind of information, your general information, then your lecture material, extra problems, where you're submitting labs. The other places you'll look are the grades. When you start getting grades, that'll fill in your grade book. And then when you're ready to take quizzes. The only other thing you're really looking at is the calendar to kind of get all of your due dates. Hey, what's coming up? What had I better make sure I am doing and making sure I get in on time? So again, just want to do a quick navigation video. Very first thing you should do is, after watching this navigation video, is go through all of your general information stuff, order your lab kit, get Respondus Lockdown Browser taken care of, and then you're ready to actually get involved in course content starting with Unit 1. So make sure you are going through that general information stuff, watching or looking at the documents and watching the appropriate videos, and then go ahead and get yourself started on Unit 1. And then you are ready to kind of keep on going through content and getting things taken care of.